Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head-on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases, even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, vampires, I've got a story for you that's going to justify your existence. According to a new study out of the University College London, you actually might be able to live a longer life and avoid diseases that come with old age, including cancer and heart disease, by drinking young people's blood.
Sweet! You gotta be kidding me. Who's the youngest on our show?
Sarah, right?
Sarah? Yeah. All right, somebody get some stuff. Let's drink it.
Let's do it. Let's get some straws.
Get her done.
I don't know, man. I think she might have too much alcohol and other stuff in her bloodstream.
Plus, she'd like it when somebody sucked her neck, right? Yeah.
Oh, gosh, she just lit up when...
Wow.
I don't know if you noticed that, BJ.
I didn't notice that, but I'm disturbed that Vicky knows that.
Well, she likes getting hickeys. Like, she just doesn't, though.
Again, I'm not saying the information's wrong. I'm just surprised you know it.
What does Sarah and Danny V have in common?
Yeah.
They love getting hickeys.
True, yeah.
Jeez, how old are you two? Okay. Hey, this is real stuff.
Is that a shock? I think every woman likes having their neck sucked on, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if my wife does.
Try it.
Try it next time.
I don't know. You know, I mean, you get to an age where you don't want
to... Give her a hickey.
Dude, just get some vampire fangs and, fulfill some Twilight fantasy.
That she has, the Twilight fantasy? Are you sure that's not your fantasy?
No, I don't like Twilight.
Okay.
You don't have to go for the hickey when you're doing that with your wife.
Oh, I don't have to go for the hick?
No, like kiss or whatever. Like
kiss or whatever. Honey, here's what I'm going to do. I got two things I want to do today. I'm going to kiss or I'm going to whatever.
Yeah.
Steve says the whatever you'll really enjoy. All right, so you're saying that I should give it a shot because every woman loves their neck getting sucked in some sort of way.
Or kissed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that women in general, their body is much more sensitive to, fun stuff than ours. Ours is pretty much, I think, you got one place to go. If you don't go there, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I hear, what was that, the erogenous zone?
Yeah, I thought their whole body was an erogenous zone. Yeah. Vicky, can you confirm, deny?
Yeah, most places are.
All right.
Like,
how about your eyelid?
Oh, totally.
All right, I'm going.
Just put a feather on the eyelid. Oof, I'm yours.
Steve, should I manipulate my wife's eyelid and see what happens?
What about the gap between your toes?
Oh, gross. Oh, there he goes. Thank you, Steve.
See, I found something that's not erogenous.
Here's the thing. I don't like feet, but I don't like people touching my feet. But then there's a spot where if they do touch it, it turns me on. So I'm very conflicted.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's the thing about the feet.
It.
Weird.
Oh, yeah. Women.
Above or below?
It's like on the bottom of my foot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why if you do a foot rub, but then at the end you go for the erogenous zone, hoping for some good stuff after. Yeah. That's the trick of a foot rub.
Thanks.
Well, you're giving me tips. Why can't I give some back to you?
I said thanks.
All right. Yeah, you looked at me like, thanks. There's more work I got to do. Look, I kiss her neck. What else do you want? Then there's that whatever I do. I'm not doing the other things.
Oh, man. It's got to be all about the erogenous.
Dude, but the blood thing is real.
No, it's not.
It is. It says, at least in theory, the researchers found that when people over 35 were injected with plasma from teenagers' blood, there was a real improvement in their biomarkers for disease. And in animal tests, older animals' brains got sharper when they were injected with younger blood.
So they're saying injection. So it's more than just drinking. There's a whole medical procedure going on with this.
Yeah, this was a clickbait thing.
Can we butt chug it?
Yeah. But dude, we've seen this in action, at least in the world of entertainment. on Silicon Valley, Gavin had that kid. Remember he had that kid that he was basically drawing blood from? The kid was his blood boy.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, so how about that? This obviously is something that people know about because they talked about in Silicon Valley. I think maybe last season, not this current one that they had, but the season before. I think they called him Blood Boy, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. Do you know how much money you can make? I mean, people give blood anyway, but if you could actually sell your blood to rich old dudes,
like Bill Gates, you're like Bill Gates' blood donor.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
I'd be down for that too. Well, I'm old, so
I was gonna say I'm probably now out of the range.
Yeah, I think you're not a young person anymore.
No, it's got to be your daughter. The daughter's the one. She's got to do it for the rest of us.
Wow, I wonder how much money you could make. I mean, sperm donors make money. What about blood donors? I mean, private.
Oh.
That's a thing. If somebody can prove this is true, I dig that. Hey, maybe family members will do it if you're all the same blood type. Maybe you do that,
So like at Thanksgiving, instead of, hey, pass the mashed potatoes and also pass my nephew George.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Pass the George.
Pass the O negative, please.
Well, it costs about $20. You get $20 to $50 per donation when you actually donate blood to a blood center. So
but this is going to be more.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking minimum $50.
Oh, dude, rich
per
dude?
donation.
Yeah, Bill Gates, dude, you should get 4 figures. That's what I think.
He better provide donuts if we're doing this.
Oh, yeah, that'll be part of it. Of course
they do it. The donuts, orange juice.
Oh, Bill, he'll probably provide the fancy pastries, dude.
That's fine. I'm good with Top Pot.
Oh, yeah. So you'll get Top Pot. That's fancy. That's good stuff. All right, I got to tell you about this lawyer who's known as, quote, the DWI guy. Well, he was just arrested. Yeah, for drunk driving. The DWI guy. Arrested for drunk driving. Steve will tell you about it. He's got the news for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well, he's no Pulitzer Prize winner. Hell, he can't even pronounce Pulitzer. This is News with Steve Miggs.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks to Kia Up You All for giving us news and sports. And usually we do like a silly day today for a holiday, but today is 9/11. So please just, keep that in your thoughts. Obviously, it's a tough day for many. The 17th anniversary of the terrorist attacks. I know for me, it hits me personally, obviously, from being from New York. And one of my high school buddies was in one of the World Trade Centers when all that happened, died at age 27. And it's still, every year you think about that. And it's just, it sucks that many, many, many people are no longer here because of such an awful act. So today is September 11th. And an interesting thing that was just put out, asking whether or not people think it should be a federal holiday. And 38% said yes, it should. And 42% said it shouldn't. And the other 20, of course, your favorite, BJ, they're not sure.
The only thing I worry about with it being a federal holiday is that we tend to celebrate.
Yeah, because yay, it's a day off.
Yeah, and I think we will remember this. There's no doubt about it. And just like Pearl Harbor Day is a big day for a lot of folks, and that's not a federal holiday. I don't think I want it that way. I want it to be a day we remember.
We talk about it,
and I don't think it's celebratory, but at the same time, it's a serious day. I don't think it should be a holiday just for that reason. I don't want to have people having barbecues or getting drunk. Which is what I do on a lot of the holidays.
Which is saying a lot for a man who loves his days off.
I do, yeah. I just think it's a great day to remember, like you said, Steve.
And ever since that happened, September 11th has been referred to as Patriot Day. So happy. I mean, enjoy, and not even enjoy it. It's a tough thing to say. It's just please keep these people in your mind, in thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you do to think about someone, today's that day.
There's a lot we can learn from today. Yeah. There really, really is. And I just... What I want to do is I want to remember, I want to honor, and I just don't want that to happen again anywhere, and that means we got to be more peaceful and figure out a way to get along. That's really, at the end of the day, that's what we've got to do. That's what I want to come to, and like you said, remember the people as well, because a lot of innocent lives. It was really senseless for so many people who lost their lives that day.
In saying that was 17 years ago.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like that long ago.
You and I were both on the air, when that happened, and I I was doing a talk show. That was a tough day.
I was working at the end, and we were just about to go to a commercial break, and our intern, I think Derek, he walked in with a piece of paper back in the days before we had chat things on computers. He would walk in with Post-it notes, and he just said a plane just crashed into the World Trade Center. And it was just, at the time, we thought it was a giant accident, and as did a lot of people. And then when we went to our commercial break, we went into a room that had a television, and then we saw the second one hit, and then you realized, oh my gosh. And then panic, of course, kicked in, because for me, and also Jody, who I worked with, both of us had, most of our family were in New York, and it was impossible to reach anyone because all the phone lines were just jammed.
When I was a little kid, I think very, very young, that's when President Kennedy was assassinated. I have no memory of that because I was very small in my single digits. And there are kids right now who I believe are late teens in their 20s, basically, who don't really know much about this because they were toddlers when this came out or just born. How about there's a
16-year-old that wasn't born.
Yeah. Even some 22-year-olds that are adults that are graduating college that probably don't have much of a memory of it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. All right, let's move on to some more a ridiculous news story. And this is about a lawyer from New York named Tom, and he's known as the DWI guy, the DWI man.
Yeah.
And he's been running a ton of ads promoting his legal service where he helps people who get busted driving when they're drunk or high. Now, you probably know where this story is going to end up.
Yeah.
Cops busted him on Friday night for drinking and driving.
There you go.
Now here's the crazy thing: his blood alcohol level was at 0.06, which is under the legal limit for a DWI.
Okay.
So he was charged with a DWAI, or driving while ability impaired. Apparently, he wasn't driving very well, even though he blew under the limit.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, you can get in trouble. You don't have to blow above the limit to get in trouble for drinking and driving. That's just kind of like their.
See, that's why I don't even mess with it, because that would be my luck. I think I was under the limit. I was, and I'm still in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, this was a tough story. I just watched the video. I don't know if you've seen this video. It's of these idiot teenagers and a grown man. It happened here in Auburn. They went to a 7-Eleven type store or a gas station store at a Shell station.
All right.
And this happened around 5:30 in the afternoon at a Shell station on Auburn Way. They went to purchase some stuff. The guy was going to pay for it. As the man went to pay for the item, the clerk was like, "Hey, you got to also pay for those pepperoni sticks that the kids are eating." And then there was a little bit of an argument that happened. The clerk then collapses while all this is going on. He has a heart attack.
Oh, damn.
Now, you'd think these three individuals would check up on him. No, they decide to steal from him as this is going on. I don't know if you've seen the footage.
No, I haven't seen the video. That's horrible.
It's crazy. So he's arguing with the two teens about, hey, you got to pay for that pepperoni stick. He walks around, just collapses into a water bottle stand, passes out. They're all confused, like what just happened. One of the team takes the money back from the guy that they paid.
Oh, wow, what have we become?
That's a horrible video. It's awful. And then the adult leaves the place. The teen's trying to break into the cash register. He can't figure it out. Then he steals some cigarettes. They leave.
Wow.
Comes back in. The whole time I'm thinking, well, the other team seems kind of confused by the whole situation and walks away. I thought, well, maybe that one was just kind of like in a bad situation. Later on in the video, that team then comes back in, figures out how to open up the cash register, and they take all the money. So now police are trying to find these idiots.
And how about the dude?
Him too. I mean,
the guy that had the heart attack.
He's in serious condition right now. Hopefully he's going to make it. He's fighting for his life.
See,
luckily somebody came in, saw him like that, ran out and said, hey, call 911, came back in and started to do CPR and trying to help the man. So thankfully somebody came into the store. Otherwise, maybe that guy would not make it at all.
That's what I mean. Like, they could have at least, God.
It's terrible.
It really, really is.
What's wrong with people, man?
And they're on camera. I mean, that's the other thing. Wow.
I think it's a matter of time before they get someone figured out who they are.
That's how humans are treating humans.
It's awful.
That really is awful. For a pack of cigarettes and what? A couple of $100?
If that.
That's what a human life is worth.
And beef sticks.
Wow. God dang, Steve. Today is...
Right?
Wait.
I saw that and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I watched the survey. And, you hear the story and you're like, this is ridiculous. And then you watch the surveillance footage and you're just like... Wow.
That's
it's that awful. This man's dying right next to you.
Boy, it is hard for me to be hopeful when I see something like that.
Sad.
Oh.
Sad.
Damn.
Talk about football last night. Monday Night Football, 2 games happened, BJ.
Yeah.
First one was the big debut of Sam Darnold for the New York Jets. He's the youngest quarterback in the modern era to start a season opener. 21 years old, 97 days. Didn't start off very well for him. In fact, people were just destroying him on social media. At first, his first toss was an interception into a touchdown.
Oh, and of course, social media's going to say, well, his whole career's over.
Well, then he turns it around. Actually has a pretty decent game, and the Jets beat the Lions 48-17.
Yeah, a lot of people then turned and said, what the hell's wrong with the Lions? I kept seeing those tweets last night. People were just losing their minds.
I was just flipping back and forth. I really didn't watch the whole game, but I kept looking for Luke Wilson. I didn't see him out there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he's on the Lions now.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they lost.
Yeah, they need to play him more.
Yeah, he's got to get out there, man.
He might have been playing. I didn't watch much of the game, so I have no idea.
Totally forgot about Luke on the Lions, yeah.
And then the other game was the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Oakland Raiders. The Rams did not look good in the first half, but then figured it out in the second half and ended up beating the Raiders 33-13. Marshawn Lynch had a touchdown during that game.
Yeah, he also he was doing his protest, too, I saw.
Yeah, and also during the game, they showed a picture of him back when he was in high school. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, it's awesome. It looks nothing like Marshawn Lynch.
Come on.
Check out what Marshawn looked like back in high school.
Whoa, he looks like a completely different dude.
Yes, and I love everyone's posting pictures. So he's like super clean cut. He's got glasses on.
Kind of looks like Urkel.
Yes, some people were saying he looks kind of like Urkel.
Damn.
My favorite is somebody says that they had side-by-side pictures of Marshawn currently, with the dreads and just with the hood over his head and just not looking very happy, as opposed to the picture of him from high school. And one person says, that's how I am in a group chat with my boys versus the group chat with my family.
Yeah.
Another person says, that's me on Twitter versus me on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, that's me in real life versus me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
that?
This is going to be a great meme. Yeah, this is an awesome meme.
I really didn't believe that was him at first.
I wouldn't either, dude. Yeah, it does. The look is just so drastically different.
Somebody says Luke Wilson's hurt right now. I thought that he was going to be ready for the game, but I guess not.
Oh.
Speaking of being hurt, Doug Baldwin, it looks like he's going to be out for a little while. He has a partial tear in his MCL, which is also like a grade 2 sprain. Oddly enough, was the exact same thing that happened to me with my knee when I got it checked out.
You got a grade 2 sprain too?
Partial tear, grade 2. It's the same thing.
Well, that makes sense because you've been walking around, and they said that Doug can walk around, but it's just a matter of he's not going to be football ready.
And I mean, obviously, he's got a way different world to rehab these things, but it's about a month healing.
That's what I'm hearing, 2 to 6 weeks, yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I would imagine he's got some of the best people in the world helping him. And
you do too. I mean,
I got my buddy Ben. He's been helping me. And
you got Ben, you got Vicky. I mean, what else do you need?
With muscle activation technique at the Athletic.
Oh, look at you, fancy.
Technical Institute. I can't remember the name of the place. I got to remember it one of these days.
Well, they're not doing anything for your memory, apparently.
No, we haven't worked on that yet.
All right.
Yeah, but so good luck to Doug. Hopefully he comes back very soon. Hopefully it will only be a 4-week thing because they could definitely use him in the next few weeks. Mariners are at home, taking on the Padres for a 2-game series. As far as weather, 63 degrees and rain, and thank you, Colorado State University Global Campus.
Yeah, you haven't told me whether or not you've given up on the Mariners yet. Oh, that was not the answer I expected. It's so funny. I hear the pundits, going, the Mariners still have a shot, no doubt about it, and they're saying nothing about the Tampa Bay Rays, and I'm looking at the standings. The Mariners are 7.5 out of the wild card, the Rays 8. It's like, so what is that half game? What is it? The Rays, forget about it. You guys, no chance. But the Mariners have a chance. Like, a half game means they don't have a chance? Wow.
Yeah, the Mariners, what do they say? Like, it's now under 1% chance. It's like a 0.3.
Yeah, the only chance they have, because I've heard some people say that if it was a 185 game season, somebody said this, the Tampa Bay Rays would be in the playoffs because they're playing such great baseball right now. So your only hope of the Mariners is if the Rays and beat up on the Yankees. I don't know how many more games the Rays have with the Yankees, but you hope that. And then because I think the Yankees will be easier to catch than the Athletics. Honestly, I really do. But it's a long shot.
Yeah,
I
kept holding on hope for that series against the A's, but I mean, after that series with the Yankees, it just doesn't look like there's hope.
Yeah, the
A's are still playing well.
Yeah, you got to beat the Yankees. You really almost had to sweep them. Really.
Yeah. I would still have hope if they swept the Yankees.
Oh,
obviously.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Instead. Yeah, not good. And I think actually the A's swept the Rangers in their series same time we were playing the Yankees, so it was not good.
So Mariners. And I do want to give a shout out to my buddy Ben because he has been helping me with my knee. It's called the Athletic Training Institute.
Good job, buddy.
And it's called muscle activation techniques.
Ooh.
It's so trippy, man. Just the experience that he's been doing with me. He's just he like strengthens other muscles around the body, and like certain parts of my back will help trigger parts of my knee to make it stronger.
Dang.
If someone explained it to me, I would be like, "You're insane. That's not how the body works." Although it is, but to experience it firsthand is pretty cool.
Do you have to be injured to go do that? Or
no,
really?
No. There are plenty of people that go there. That's just their way of no different than someone who does acupuncture or massages or whatever it is. It's just a way to strengthen your body. Triggering and activating muscles that you typically aren't using anymore.
Yeah, because I don't use any of my muscles.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that they actually go there and they should hook me up to every machine they got.
It was nuts. I couldn't bend my knee, and then all of a sudden he's like massaging a part of like my back and my hip. And he's like, "Okay, now try it again," and then I'm bending my knee, and I'm like, "What the F? What kind of weird magic are you pulling on me?"
I know, it's so weird if your brain doesn't think that way. I go in and I tell people, the massage therapist, I go, my right side is killing me. They go, "All right, well, we'll rub your left side then." I go, "What is that?" "It's my right side." The next thing you know, it starts feeling better. I'm like, okay.
I like how someone says, even though Marshawn in high school, how he looks in high school, he still looked like he was 35 in that picture. He does look like a really old teenager.
Yeah, he didn't look like a teenager in that picture. He just looked like a clean-cut adult waiting to go to some sort of business job. It's amazing the difference. Wow.
And to go back to us talking about us being on the radio when the tragedy at 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I woke up as Andy Savage and Steve were on my alarm clock. Andy's voice dropped and sounded sincere as I heard him say there was a horrific event. I jumped up, turned on the TV to see one of the towers smoking, listened on my way to work, and on TV while I was at work watching, we saw the second plane, and that day made our lives change. Our way of life have changed. It's a day of remembrance from Marty in Tacoma.
And of course, I know this, and you know this, Steve. As you said, it hit you hard. Andy and I are both Bostonians,
yes.
And so when one of the planes took off from there, and that was you feel a sense of responsibility, like, man, if we had done anything at all to prevent that from happening. So I know Bostonians feel such a heaviness to this day because it took off from their airport, took off from Logan, and one of the planes, and so it's. Yeah. So today is 9/11. They said the same thing about Pearl Harbor Day, a day that will live in infamy. And for many, many people, that is still true, even though we have healed, at least our relationship with Japan. I hope someday we can say that, we have healed our relationship, with, the area of the world where this was perpetrated from. I would hope someday we could say the same thing many years after the way we have with Japan.
Yeah, because you think about it now, it seems so not believable that could ever happen. And then, but I'm sure at one time during when World War II was going on, people our age or our times were thinking the same thing as well.
Yeah. It's, and the tough part is at least, they knew there was a world war. They knew Hitler was out of his mind. They knew stuff was happening. So you were wondering. For us, we just felt more insulated at 9/11. Like, this could never really happen.
Yeah.
I mean, as much of a shock as Pearl Harbor was, you still knew, okay, bad stuff's happening. When's it going to hit us? It just was on that scale. Just didn't feel like that with 9/11. It just seemed much more of a shock, I would imagine. I wasn't alive during Pearl Harbor, but I have a feeling at least the world was a lot more tense because of Hitler than we were. It just didn't.
I wonder.
But yeah, I wasn't there for Pearl Harbor. Either way, both horrific events in U.S. history.
Because I feel like news spread quicker, even 17 years ago than it did probably, back then.
Agreed. Yeah, it was, So today is definitely a day to just remember the innocent people and also try to just keep your heart open because it's a closed heart that really can lead people to perpetrate such activities in the first place. No doubt about it. Yesterday, Steve, he got this one right, but took way too many guesses.
In Disney's Snow White, the sleeping spell on Snow White was broken by a what?
Fart.
No.
Glass slippers?
No.
The Seven Dwarves?
No. Russian maid.
A kiss?
Yep.
The Seven Dwarves. Though if you read the original story, Seven Dwarves were not nice guys in the original story. No, they were not nice to Snow White.
I had to flesh it out, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. You want a shot at beating Steve? Okay, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Love sports? Love culture? Well, I've got a brand new podcast called Take Line from Crooked Media, hosted by me, Jason Concepcion, and two-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery. From the games to the players to the issues happening both on and off the court, we'll be tackling the important political and social issues happening in sports head on. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so follow and subscribe on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.